Welcome to our podcast, where we explore fascinating stories and ideas from various fields. In this episode, we uncover what truly makes smart cities smart, something that involves more than just technology. African cities are growing fast, but as they expand, a key question remains. How do we make these cities smart, fair, and inclusive? A new community-led approach in Johannesburg's Westbury neighborhood is showing the way. Instead of starting with tech companies or governments, the plan begins with local people. Researchers from the University of Johannesburg worked with 30 residents to design their ideal smart neighborhoods, focusing on real-life needs like safety, electricity, education, and culture. A smart city uses digital tools like sensors, data networks, and connected devices to manage services. These tools can help with things like traffic, electricity, public safety, and waste management. But technology alone isn't enough. If people are not part of the planning, even the smartest systems can ignore real problems. Professor Rennie Naidoo of the University of the Witwatersrand said a better approach is to start with communities themselves. In Westbury, residents shared their hopes for the future, what changes they wanted, and how tech could support those changes without replacing their values. When communities imagine their future, it's not about fancy tech, it's about what helps them live better lives, said Naidoo. Westbury is a working-class neighborhood shaped by history. It struggles with gang violence, high unemployment, and poor infrastructure. But it also has strong community bonds. Residents said safety was their top concern. They liked the idea of smart surveillance tools, but insisted these should be controlled locally, not by distant authorities. They wanted technology that helps them feel safer, not more watched. Electricity was another big issue. Westbury faces regular power cuts. People wanted solar panels, not as a luxury, but as a basic need. They imagined solar-powered community hubs that keep homes, schools, and businesses running even during blackouts. They also saw potential in tech for education and culture. Some suggested augmented reality to bring local stories and landmarks to life, while others dreamed of digital centers where young people could learn coding or music or start online businesses. This work in Westbury is part of a bigger trend. From Cape Town to Medellin, more cities are inviting locals into the planning process. In Cape Town, the Play Khayelitsha initiative used games and role-play to let residents share their ideas. In Colombia's Medellin, local voices helped shape transport and education policies. These projects show that when people help design smart cities, the results are more useful, trusted, and fair. Naidoo said this matters especially in African cities, where the legacy of colonialism still affects urban development. Technology is not neutral, he said. It carries the ideas of whoever designs it. So it's important that the people who live in cities help shape the future.
Hello and welcome. You're watching Beyond World is One. My name is Mohammed Saleh. Let's start with this broadcast by taking a quick look as to what is making headlines at this hour. Now, India's NSA Ajit Doval holds talks with Russian President Vladimir Putin at the Kremlin. The two stress their commitments to a strategic partnership. Now, Doval had announced earlier that Putin would be visiting India pretty soon. Russian President Vladimir Putin's special envoy calls the Putin-Trump meet that's planned for next week as an opportunity to convey Russia's position to the American president. Says that he hopes that the dialogue will continue even more actively.
We want to have a security perimeter. We don't want to govern it. We don't want to be there as a governing body. We want to hand it over to Arab forces.
The Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu says that Israel intends to take military control all of the Gaza Strip and will eventually hand it over to the armed forces that will govern it properly. Stresses that Israel, according to him, does not want to be there as a governing body. Now, 4 more malnourished Palestinians die in the Gaza Strip in just the last 24 hours, taking the total number of starvation deaths of the Palestinians to over 197. The World Health Organization has said that at least about 12,000 Palestinian children under the age of 5 in the Gaza Strip are suffering from acute malnutrition, with hunger-related deaths touching new highs in July. The Indian Army is carrying out the rescue operations in the landslide-ravaged Uttarkashi region. Says that 70 people have been rescued, 50 others are missing, and dozens of people have been airlifted to nearby towns as the roads remain blocked. And close to 25 gunshots were fired at comedian Kapil Sharma's cafe in Canada's Surrey, the second attack in the last month. 2 gangs, Gurpreet Singh alias Goldie Dhillon and Lawrence Bishnoi, claimed responsibility. And torrential rains in India's Hyderabad city caused massive waterlogging. Officials are to hold emergency review meetings. Relief and evacuation work is to get underway in the low-lying areas.
This morning, an innovative device is helping people who are blind or low vision feel facial expressions. Hapware uses haptics or vibrations on the wrist to relay visual cues like gestures.
9 News reporter Courtney Yoon went to the School of Mines where this device got it started.
Hapware began here at the School of Mines as a research project, but now they're a real company looking to launch a new product. The assistive technology is a wristband and a pair of glasses that uses computer vision to translate facial expressions into vibrations on your wrist. The device uses dynamic haptic interaction to deliver intuitive, real-time feedback. So, for example, a smiling face would feel like an upward sensation and U-shape on your wrist. Co-founder and CEO of Hapware, Jack Walters, says within 90 seconds of wearing the device, users are able to recognize 7 nonverbal cues with 95% accuracy. Right now, the device is able to communicate more than 25 different facial expressions, body language, and gestures, like someone waving their hand, furrowed eyebrows, or turning away. He says it's about giving more information to the millions of people who are blind or low vision.
David, who's one of our first users, he said, when I began to feel the vibration sets and was able to interpret their meaning, it began to restore a once long lost depth of everyday communication. It's a new category of wearable that is communicating those real-time human insights and about your environment and the people you interact with.
Walters graduated from the School of Mines with his master's in engineering last December. He says that the device is still in beta testing and they hope to have it commercially available in the beginning of 2026.
Viral child star Lil Tay just turned 18 and within hours launched an OnlyFans account claiming to have broken records. Now her father is speaking out, saying he won't monitor her content and that she's free to make her own choices. But online, the reaction has been anything but supportive, with many saying her subscribers should be in jail. On Instagram, she promoted her new content with a post captioned, "All content shot at 12:01 a.m. on my 18th birthday." And she's making sure no one misses it. Her bio now reads, just turned 18, and she's pushing her link as the youngest girl on OnlyFans. Just 3 hours after dropping the link, she posted an update claiming she'd made over $1 million, beating rapper Bhad Bhabie's 2021 record of earning $1 million in 6 hours when she joined at 18. But the comments are critical of her subscribers, saying things like, anyone who subscribes is a pedophile, and if you're actually dropping adult content on there and not a new song, you're weird dropping a link for grown men who have been waiting for you to turn 18. I feel like that's not okay. Even Bhad Bhabie agrees with the sentiment.
You joined OnlyFans the night you turned 18?
I think so, yeah.
And people subscribed right away?
Yeah.
Should they be in jail?
Yeah.
Lil Tay is no stranger to controversy. She first went viral in 2018, claiming she was 9 years old and the youngest flexer in the world in several expletive-filled social videos and rap songs.
Oh, you can't fight for shit, and you a
Then in 2023, after years of silence, her Instagram was updated to announce that she and her half-brother had died. But just a day after even her management confirmed her death to Variety, her family issued a statement to TMZ saying she was alive, safe, and that her account was hacked. 1 month later, she dropped a new song and music video.
I just can't look away from it. I want it.
Now, as Lil Tay and her half-brother trade jabs and upload dramatic clips online, claiming he's kicking her out for her OnlyFans account, some are wondering if this is all just another stunt.
Even if you kick me out, I'm just gonna buy a mansion. I'm gonna buy a penthouse. I'm gonna buy 2 penthouses.
As of now, we are taking Lil Tay at her word that everything was filmed after she turned 18. OnlyFans has strict rules. Creators and subscribers must be 18 or older, and no content can include anyone under that age. But for many online, this isn't just about legality, it's about principle.
In the ongoing fight against invasive pythons in the Everglades, Florida officials are hopping over to a new method of studying the species using robotic rabbits. The decoys are to lure pythons out of hiding and remove them from the Everglades ecosystem through euthanization. Pythons are an invasive species to Florida, largely brought into the U.S. between 1975 and 2018. Imported pythons were banned from the U.S. in 2012, but the species has overtaken the Everglades, harming food supplies for native predators while making some animals vanish entirely, such as foxes. That's why the South Florida Water Management District is working with the University of Florida to spearhead the effort. Pythons are notoriously difficult to detect and capture, so the team of researchers designed the robotic rabbit to emit an odor to attract the snake. The rabbits are also equipped with cameras to monitor the pythons. Officials are alerted by the monitors once a snake is detected. They then go to the area, capture the snake, and ultimately euthanize it. 40 robotic rabbits are deployed across strategic areas in the Everglades and South Florida. The rabbits are solar-powered and waterproof to withstand the rainy conditions of the Everglades. In addition to this effort, the state also hires snake bounty hunters in hopes of eradicating the slithery invaders. Male snakes that are caught are fitted with tracking devices in order to lead hunters to egg-laying females. However, the Geological Survey says despite efforts to rid the ecosystem of pythons, they're likely here to stay. The snakes prey on everything from raccoons, possums, birds, and there are even cases of them eating alligators, iguanas, and an adult deer. But native animals may be fighting back, with cases of bobcats, alligators, and cottonmouth snakes killing pythons.
Now, the ocean's greatest voices, believe it or not, have gone eerily quiet, and scientists are sounding an alarm. Blue whales, Earth's largest creatures whose songs once traveled across the entire ocean basins, have mysteriously stopped singing in an unprecedented manner. Our next study dives into the chilling silence that signals something is terribly, terribly wrong beneath the waves. Take a look.
Blue whales are the ocean's supreme singers, their melodies traveling thousands of miles through the deep blue void. These magnificent giants, stretching up to 100 and weighing as much as 200 tons, possess hearts the size of small cars and voices that can span entire ocean basins. Their songs are nature's most powerful acoustic phenomena, reaching volumes of 188 decibels, and frequencies so low they penetrate the deepest trenches. But now the music has died. In the waters of California's Monterey Bay, where scientists have monitored whale communications for decades, an unprecedented silence has descended. Blue whale vocalizations have dropped by almost 40%, with populations of krill and anchovy collapsing. The implications are more terrifying than any natural disaster. When Earth's largest animals stop singing, entire ecosystems are collapsing. Unlike flexible humpbacks, blue whales rely almost entirely on krill. When krill vanished, their ability to feed and to sing shattered. This silence is more than biological, it's a climate alarm, signaling that warming oceans, toxic algae blooms, plastic pollution, and collapsing food webs are pushing marine giants to the brink. As marine heat waves become more frequent, the consequences ripple through ocean ecosystems. Blue whales are not just animals, they are climate barometers. Their songs chart ecosystem health. Silence then is not just absence, it's urgency. The ocean's voice is fading, and if we don't act, the deep could fall silent entirely. Bureau Report, WION, World is One.
News: earthquake striking the Inland Empire again. Assignment manager Mark Liu at the desk with details. Mark, a lot of people might have slept through this.
Yeah, it was early this morning at about 1 o'clock, but there were two earthquakes just about 10 minutes apart, both 3.5. And according to the U.S. Geological Survey, lots of people did end up feeling it. They woke up. Let me show you some video from our SeismoCam from this morning. You can see every one of our sensors, Anaheim, Long Beach, Los Angeles, San Bernardino, and even San Diego there at the bottom, caught both of these earthquakes. The first one at about 1:02 this morning. The second one right here about 12 minutes later at 1:14. Both 3.5 magnitude, both almost in exactly the same spot. Come out to my screen. I'm going to show you on the map. This is the U.S. Geological Survey website. Let's zoom in. There, right there. There was actually a third one here that has now popped up, a 3.2 that is now listed here among this little grouping of earthquakes. And I'll tell you, this is the most interesting data of the morning. All of these squares are self-reported instances to the USGS of people who say they felt it this morning all through the Inland Empire. The light blue squares are people who reported very light shaking, but we have some yellow here and green. That is moderate shaking, and you can see it stretches all through the Inland Empire, even up to instances here. There's a square near Big Bear Lake, and even one all the way down here. Someone felt it in San Juan Capistrano. Now, one of the bits of good news is San Bernardino County and Riverside County fire departments report no damage from this pair now, I guess, trio of earthquakes, as the USGS has now separated a third one out from there. That's new data we just got. But lots of people did feel it this morning. No reports of any damage, though. That's it here from the desk.
Monsoon mayhem continues in India. In Telangana, heavy rains lashed the capital city of Hyderabad, leading to waterlogging in several areas. Now, these are some of the images from the Hyderabad city, where residents can be seen wading through knee-deep water. Several vehicles were also seen navigating through flooded streets, leading to traffic congestion in several areas. The Greater Hyderabad Municipal Corporation has issued an alert for flash floods, as some areas have reported 80 to 100 millimeter rain. Now, the intense spell is likely to continue for the next 2 hours.
A week of hell on the high seas. That's how the UN Migration Agency describes the journey that 250 Ethiopian migrants undertook to reach Yemen on Tuesday. A trip from Somalia that was meant to last 24 hours turned deadly after the boat's engine reportedly failed in the middle of the Gulf of Aden. 7 people died of thirst and hunger during the 7 days it took the migrants to paddle onto shore in southern Yemen. Several passengers were rushed to hospital for life-saving treatment and have been discharged in stable condition. The incident comes just days after a boat with more than 150 migrants from Ethiopia capsized on the same route to Yemen. Only 12 people were found alive.
News exclusively embedding with Customs and Border Protection for an immigration raid in Los Angeles. DHS is honing in on a particular neighborhood where it says an infamous gang was formed.
Hi, Jackie. It was called Operation Trojan Horse, and DHS tells us it was the first time they used unmarked rental trucks during an immigration enforcement here in Los Angeles. DHS drove those trucks into a parking lot of a Home Depot near MacArthur Park. One of the Border Patrol drivers apparently did pose as someone looking for work, but then immigration agents came out of the trucks and dozens of people scattered. 16 people were taken into custody. We are working on confirming their information right now. Now, agents got in and out in a matter of minutes. DHS says they did surveillance of this area prior, and they used the rental trucks because they claim there's too many scouts in this area.
The hearing began today after environmental groups filed suit to stop the use of alligator Alcatraz. Multiple environmental groups filed suit claiming the government violated the National Environmental Policy Act. The act requires federal agencies to assess environmental impacts of proposed acts. But the government argues the state of Florida is behind the facility and not the federal government. Several environmental advocates took the stand today, arguing the facility may have a negative impact on some endangered species in the area, like panthers. This hearing comes amid another lawsuit against the facility. The ACLU has filed suit over conditions in the facility and the treatment of detainees. Straight Arrow News spoke with Anna Weiser, a lawyer at Smith & Yulo law firm in Florida, and she's part of that ACLU lawsuit and has clients inside Alligator Alcatraz. She told us that she'd be happy to have the facility shut down no matter on what grounds.
If that thing is shut down, I don't care on what ground, right? My client gets to come out and at least, no, he's not going to come home right away, but we have a chance to get him home.
The environmental lawsuit hearing will continue into Thursday.
President Donald Trump began imposing higher import taxes on dozens of countries Thursday, just as the economic fallout of his months-long tariff threats has begun to cause visible damage to the U.S. economy. Global financial markets have taken President Donald Trump's tariff adjustments in stride. Shares in Asia and Europe, as well as U.S. futures, are mostly higher Thursday after Trump started imposing higher import taxes on goods for more than 60 countries, including the European Union, Japan, and South Korea. The higher import taxes are part of his strategy to reduce the U.S. trade deficit and encourage foreign investment in America.
Today we're standing up for the American worker, and we are finally putting America first.
But there are signs of stalled hiring, rising inflation, and declining home values. Trump is optimistic about economic growth, but many experts warn of potential long-term damage.
Russia's President Vladimir Putin says a possible meeting next week with his U.S. counterpart Donald Trump could take place in the United Arab Emirates. He made the announcement after meeting with its president in Moscow. We have many friends who are willing to help us organize events like this. Here, one of these people is the president of the UAE. I think we will decide, but this would be one of the possible, quite suitable places. Kremlin aide Yuri Ushakov says the men will meet in the coming days in what would be the first summit between leaders of the two countries since 2021. The news comes on the eve of Washington's deadline for Moscow to show progress towards ending its war in Ukraine or face heavy economic sanctions. The last time Putin and Trump met was in Helsinki in 2018 during the US president's first term in office. While talks would be a significant milestone towards Trump's efforts to end the war, there's no guarantee it would stop the fighting.
Now, the age of hypersonic warfare has arrived in the Pacific as America has deployed its most lethal weapon system on the Australian shores for the first time. The Dark Eagle missile that is capable of striking Beijing from Japan in under 30 minutes has crossed the ocean as an ultimate warning to the Chinese aggression. Simultaneously, Russia and China have also been conducting joint naval exercises, and the United States and Australia responded with their own devastating display of military might. So in this report, we examine as to how hypersonic missiles are reshaping the strategic balance of power across the Indo-Pacific theatre of war. Take a look.
The thunder of hypersonic warfare has reached Australian shores in the most provocative display of American military might since the Cold War. The United States has deployed its devastating Dark Eagle missile system overseas for the first time, transforming Australia's Northern Territory into a launch pad for hypersonic destruction. This is no ordinary weapons deployment. This is strategic intimidation at Mach 5. Dark Eagle is a land-based, maneuverable hypersonic weapon capable of traveling over 6,100 kilometers per hour and striking targets more than 2,700 kilometers away. They operate via a battery of 4 launchers capable of carrying 2 missiles each. The strategic calculus of destruction are terrifyingly simple. From Japan, this weapon could reach Beijing in less than 30 minutes, traveling too fast for conventional missile defense systems to intercept. The new missile was tested during Talisman Sabre 2025, a massive 3-week exercise involving more than 40,000 troops from the United States, Australia, and 17 other nations. These massive drills are coinciding with massive drills held by America's adversaries. Russia and China held coordinated naval exercises in the Pacific. These drills held in the Sea of Japan. Thousands of troops, along with advanced warships, submarines and jets, took part in the joint military drills. The new American missile test comes at a time when Russia is also racing ahead with the mass production and deployment of its Oreshnik missile, which can strike several European capitals in a matter of minutes. The new age missiles like the Russian Oreshnik and American Dark Eagle are designed to strike first, strike fast, and strike undetected, slipping past air defenses and neutralizing high-value targets before a counterattack can even be launched. The shadow of hypersonic weapons now darkens every adversary's calculation, and the world has just witnessed who controls the stopwatch in this arms race. Bureau Report, We On World is One.